This is the Quick Start video tutorial that explains how you can edit the planned number of work hours for sales activities by using only workflows and pull-down menus. For an expanded version of this tutorial with more in-depth explanations, navigation, and displaying confirmation information, select the expanded Edit Schedule video. The Edit Schedule module allows you to change the data for all sales task or sales non-task activities. In order not to contaminate your live schedule, for this demo I will use, you can see here, dummy data from Stan Elbaum's schedule. And let me scroll down so you can see this section more fully. The confirmation activation, and we see the choices here, when set to yes, displays confirmations for each of the choices you select in a gray color. Confirmation information cannot be changed during a run, only later by changing the user profile. The default settings in Stan Elbaum user profile is no, and I will leave these settings for the demo. For select which messages to hide or show, and again we see the choices, I'm going to leave the default choice again at hide information notes. For do you want to edit another record after editing this record? And again we see the choices. I'm going to select no, meaning that I intend to have Time to Money generate a report after editing the schedule. And finally in this section, select if you want to have Time to Money automatically activate and display the run optimization simulation or one of the report modules logically associated with schedules. After you have completed all edits for the schedule, you'll be selecting further down. For the demo, I'm going to choose to activate the mass schedule report. And I'm going to scroll down so you can see the next section more fully. This section allows you to select a range of dates for your edits. Time to Money displays the following: the starting date, the first calendar date to apply your edits, the starting day, which is the day of the week that corresponds to the starting date, the ending date, the last calendar date to apply your edits, and the ending day, the day of the week that corresponds to this ending date. So I'm going to make my choices now, and I'm going to choose June the 8th as the starting date, and I'm going to select June the 12th as the ending date. And I will just scroll down to the next section. This is the section where you select the type of edit you want to do during the session. You can only perform one type of edit per session, then you must submit these edits to the schedule. So as we can see here, Time to Money provides the following 5 types of edits to your planned number of work hours for activities in your schedule. You can either add hours, subtract hours, increase hours by a percentage, decrease hours by a percentage, or set entirely new hours. For this demo, I'm going to select add hours to existing schedule hours. And I'm going to scroll down, and we can see that selecting the editing action results in Time to Money displaying the first row for your edit. And initially, this row is blank. And you click on Add New to populate this first row. And what we see is a number of pieces of information. We see the schedule scenario description, and it's pre-populated, the serial name, and it's pre-populated. We see the activity, which is the specific sales activity that you want to edit. We see the activity type, which is based on the activity schedule and will be pre-populated by the system. And we see add hours, the number of work hours you want to add to each specific activity. And this last column will display a different text heading depending on the selected editing action. So I am going to select sales, and we see that the activity type is automatically displayed as a task sales activity. And to complete, I'm going to enter 1.50 as the number of work hours to add to each sales activity over the selected date range. Time to Money checks to ensure that as a result of this edit, your revised work hours do not exceed 24 hours in a day, and displays an error message for each day in which this violation occurs. Time to Money similarly checks to ensure that if you select the editing action to subtract hours, this would not result in negative working hours. You can add as many activity rows as you desire. Duplicating an activity will result in Time to Money editing only the last row for this activity. I will add a second row to demonstrate the editing of multiple activities for the same editing action and date range. And clicking on New has the system add another row. And by the way, if you click on this red X, if you had made a mistake in the row and you wanted to eliminate it and start over, you click on the red X and the row will disappear. I'll just show you. The row disappears and we add New again. And in this particular case, I'm going to select Planning as the activity. And this is a non-task sales activity, and that is what shows up. Now note that you can use a minus sign in front of Add Hours data entry, and this will result in Time to Money reducing the number of hours. So I'm going to select minus 0.50. I will not carry out any more edits for this demo. Note that adding additional hours to these activities automatically increases the total number of working hours by the same net number of hours. All activities that are not selected retain their current work hours, and this retention logic is used for all editing actions. You cannot directly set the total daily work hours. This is a value calculated as the sum of all activity work hours for that day. If you want to adjust what you see in the report as the revised total only daily work hours, you will need to carry out another session and change one or more of the other activities. Clicking on the Submit button updates the schedule with all of these edits and activates the next module selected in the initial section of this Edit Schedule module. For this demo, clicking on Submit will activate the schedule report to be displayed. So Time to Money displays this selected report module in a new tab. And you can scroll down the report and confirm that the edits have been updated in the schedule. So we can see from June the 8th, Monday, to June the 12th, these numbers are different, and also these numbers are different. I'm going to scroll back up to the top. You can get a PDF copy of this report by clicking on the PDF button in the right-hand corner of the screen. You can log out from Time to Money when you've completed your session by clicking on the Sign Out menu item in the upper right-hand corner of all Time to Money screens. And after reviewing the selected report, to continue this section, just scroll up to the new tab and click on the return arrow to return to the selected workflow. And in this demo, you'll be returned to the Edit Schedule workflow where you could decide to edit additional tasks, activities, and dates. This completes the Quick Start video, demonstrating how you can edit the planned number of work hours for sales activities by using only workflows and pull-down menus.